Hey guys, today I want to talk about what's going on in the world. Is it going to affect expats? And it is. It's affecting us big over here now. Gas prices are starting to go up. Inflation's starting to click in. Things are starting to happen. Although we have more expats coming in here, there's a lot of chatter out there. Chatter that kind of scares some of us expats over here. Some expats are saying, I don't know if I want to be here with the Ukraine thing going on and China watching and seeing that the United States isn't really doing that much. And will the United States do the same amount that they're doing for the Ukraine with Taiwan? Who knows? We have a lot of ships and deterrence over here. But you know what? It could be a lot of hoopla. Who knows? We don't really know if the United States would do something or not if Taiwan was attacked, or the Philippines. And yes, the Philippines could be part of that. Some people say, no, Steve, you don't know what you're talking about, You know, yes, the Philippines would probably be in that mix. We don't know what China's all about. They say, well, China's never really attacked anybody. Well, look at what was it? Tibet. They attacked Tibet. They took it over. You know, they've taken over things. Hong Kong, they had an agreement with Britain that they were going to leave it pretty much free. And they didn't. They went in there and took it over. So anybody that's saying that China's like a peaceful country, it's really not. They've taken over portions of the Philippines already, small islands. People still tell me, well, they've never taken over anything. It's not true. Get your facts straight. And am I worried? Hell yeah, I'm worried. I think a lot of other people are worried too. We're starting to see gas prices over here go up. I'm sure jeepney prices will go up, and poverty will start hitting us more over here as far as Filipinos. Now, as far as the dollar goes, we're at about 52 and a quarter or 52 and a half, somewhere around there per dollar. 52 and a half pesos. We're at about 49 to 50, somewhere around there for quite a long time. So we're getting a little bit of a gain. Now, is that a great gain? Yes, it is. That's actually a pretty decent gain for us, considering that there's inflation over here that has kind of made up for the inflation and helped Americans catch up over here. So we're still at about the same level we were before, probably, maybe a little bit better off, you know, but we have had a lot of inflation over the past couple of years. So in some cases we're behind, some cases we're ahead. But I think overall, we're probably about the same, maybe a little bit ahead. But, you know, this is affecting us over here. And God forbid if Taiwan and the Philippines becomes the next Ukraine. It could happen. Very well could happen. And a lot of expats that are here are actually talking about that. We're talking about it. It's coming up in conversation more often, I notice, with my friends, with people on the phone. They ask me if I'm worried about China. Do I think, you know, the Philippines will become the next Ukraine along with Taiwan? And to be honest with you, I don't know. I wish I could say no, but the fact is I don't know. And that in itself is kind of scary for all of us expats over here. It's something we all have to ponder all the time. Would the United States be safe to go back to, considering that Putin's threatening nuclear war? Would we go to a nuclear war? Well, Putin's kind of off the charts right now. He's kind of in a corner. He can't go out and meet with world leaders with the current thing going on. So he's kind of like a nothing burger as far as the world's concerned, except for the fact that he's a despot. He's crazy. He's doing something that's wrong. But the fact that this guy's bringing like rolling crematories into the Ukraine is also another thing that's kind of scary, because he's going to say, well, he didn't kill that many people, when in reality, he's getting rid of the bodies. He's cremating them and then gets rid of the ashes or whatever, and boom, it's all done. So nobody knows what happens to these bodies. They say that over 5,000 Russians have already been killed by Ukrainians. Trust me, that number's going to grow, but there's more Ukrainians that have gotten killed than Russians so far. I'm not sure what the numbers are for Ukrainians, but the Ukrainians are fighting back. Now, would that happen in the Philippines? Let me say this. Philippines is a different country. I'm not sure if they have the weaponry or guns or whatever on the side for them to fight China and to fight back and have an insurgency to fight against them if China was to come over here and take over. I worry about it, but it's something, you know, we have to consider, and we should always have an emergency supply of food. God forbid this stuff happens. Maybe have an extra supply of gasoline on hand, have a generator, and as soon as Starlink becomes available, have that generator and have that Starlink ready, because you know what? You might be using that for your phone calls or what have you. But this stuff is stuff that we have to really think about, really think hard about to come over here. A lot of guys are coming over here. I don't think they understand the international politics that affect us over here. There's a lot of international politics that affect us over here. And it's something that you definitely have to consider before coming here. The internal politics here can be a little rough sometimes too. I really don't get involved in that and talk about that because it's not my country to talk about. And when you come here, you should learn not to get involved with politics here. Just don't get involved in their politics. Can you talk about it with your friends? Yeah, you can talk about it with your friends. But you know what? Stay out of it. Don't get involved. Don't get involved with protests over here. Don't do any of that stuff, because you get involved with that, you can get in trouble. They don't like you getting involved with politics over here because you're an outsider. Okay, even if you're a resident over here, you shouldn't get involved. Now, if you become a citizen over here, that's different. If you get your passport over here and you become a citizen over here, yeah, then you have those rights. And I'm not sure how much rights you gain. I'm not sure if it's one of these countries that gives you full rights as a citizen from outside of here, or if you get partial rights. Because some countries, I've heard, only give you partial rights because you're an outsider. Now, the United States gives you full rights to, pretty much you can do the same as anybody else in the country. Now, I'm not sure if that is true in the Philippines. It's something that, you have to look into and think about. But guys, start watching the world. The world is getting smaller. So it's affecting us expats over here. It's affecting us in a very big way, because we're feeling the politics that we escaped back in the United States encroaching on us all over the world. I talked to people in Portugal that are expats over there, in Spain, and a few other countries. Also, even in Africa. They said in Africa, the Chinese are going in there and they're basically taking it over. It's scary. They're going in there, they're going after all their gold, all their oil, all their precious metals, all their rare earth metals. They're going in after this stuff over in Africa, and they're just strip mining this stuff. And the people over there are getting pennies on the dollar for what the Chinese are making. So the Chinese are getting wealthy off the rest of the world, off the poor countries, and they don't care about the poor countries. They could care less. I was reading one time about this island, and it's somewhere in the South Pacific, and they had all kinds of guano from the birds. Guano's like a fertilizer. They went in there and they stripped it all out. They took all the guano out and sold it. I think they sold it to China too. And they left nothing behind but like stone and coral, and a few places for the people to live, but basically there was nothing left. And that's the way they left the country. And this is what's going on to the world. A lot of these countries are going into these smaller countries and taking over. And certainly the Philippines is a country that has many, many resources, both trees, bananas, food, rice paddies, rice fields, farming, people. It has lots of people that you could use. And that's why some other countries come in here in the past, like Spain, and took it over and then used the Filipinos for cheap labor and everything. And the United States did the same. And now they're on their own. They're a free country, but they get used and abused because they're poor. So they go to these other countries like Qatar, Saudi Arabia, places like that. And they give them cheap labor, unfortunately, and they get abused while they're doing that sometimes. But when you guys come over here, weigh all your stuff out. Make sure this is going to be your happy ground. Is it happy for me? Yes, it is. It's a very happy place. But I understand that anywhere I go in the world, I'm never going to get away from the world issues. Never. Can I get away from United States issues? Yes. To a point. But even the United States will affect me over here to a certain extent. And it'll extend anywhere in the world. The United States has a big reach. Do I have to put up with the people back in the U.S. talking about politics and putting me down because of my political beliefs or anything? I don't have to live with that anymore. I can just walk away from it over here. We try not to talk too much about politics unless it's, like if I am sitting down talking with somebody and he has the same beliefs as me, we'll sit and talk politics sometimes. And it's kind of fun and enjoyable to do that once in a while. But I'm not really into politics like I was a long time ago. When I was younger, I loved politics. It was my forte. I used to follow. I used to have all the autographs of all the senators, and I even had a couple presidents and vice presidents and everything. As a kid, that's what I collected. But anyway, guys, I want to throw that out there, let you guys have something to think about before you come here, because a lot of guys are coming over here, they think they're escaping politics, and in some ways you're escaping those American politics, but you're never ever going to escape everything. You're going to hear stuff in the news, you're going to see stuff. World events are going to change you just as much over here as they are in the United States, Europe, Ukraine, or whatever, wherever you are. And could this be the next Ukraine? Who knows? I hope not. God bless, guys. Take care. I hope you enjoyed today's show.